All right, it is Matthew Boyd on the mound for the Cubs, up against the Cardinals here. Brendan Donovan at the plate for the Cardinals. I'm going to have to go a little unorthodox for this one, as it is an ESPN stream, as Donovan grounds one over to second, and that is out number one. So an easy play for Horner at second is the first out of the ball game, but trying to do this one because it's such a big game in the season. I was unable to do one yesterday as I was out of town for the 4th of July. And the other games in this series, obviously Apple TV Plus isn't something I can work with, so a little limited, but I'm just going to do audio for this game. Matthew Boyd on the mound. He has just a 2.65 ERA on the year, just named an All-Star, I believe, as he misses inside to Mason Wynn. Cardinals have kind of a standard first half of the lineup, but a little bit of a strange lineup overall. Had to get Joel Pozo back in the lineup after that huge swing yesterday. So he starts today at DH with Pajes at the 8 spot. And the second pitch missed as well to Wynn, so it's 2-0. Now the 2-0 pitch is in there with the changeup low and away. It's 2-1 on Mason Wynn. Wynn hitting .256 this year. Next pitch from Boyd. Popped the other way and into the seats. It's 2-2. So it's Donovan, Wynn, Contreras, Burleson, Pozo, Nootbaar, and then this is where it gets a little strange. Sajaci, Pajes, and Hampson. So Pozo at DH, Sajaci at third, and Hampson in center, meaning Victor Scott is getting the day off. The 2-2 pitch is popped foul, still 2-2. So Mason Wynn with a good at-bat here. First real challenge for Boyd in the game so far, as Donovan already grounded out. Donovan was named to the All-Star team, so that's a pretty exciting player to choose. I think that's the right choice. As Wynn reaches out and pokes another one foul, good at-bat. Donovan's been the most consistent player on the team. I think Marmol described that perfectly when he was hyping him up. If we look at what Boyd has done this year, about average in the strikeout rate. So here's the 2-2. Inside 3-2. If we look at some of these other numbers, low walk rate. Doesn't get a lot of whiff, so that's good for Wynn. Also allows some of the baseballs to be hit in the air, so that could help out the Cardinals hitters with some good launch angle. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Wynn. Pulls it, just foul. It's still 3-2. That was a changeup low and in. Good swing by Wynn. Boyd now about to throw his 12th pitch of the game. It's going to be another 3-2 pitch to Wynn. Uses about 46% four seams, 23% changeup, 16% slider, and 11% curveball. So a standard pitch mix. The 3-2. Fouled back again. Great at-bat by Wynn. Looking to reach base as the second hitter in the order. After Wynn, it obviously would be Contreras. And I may be a couple seconds behind the automatic updater, which is a little annoying. But this is the best I can do for this game. Another 3-2 pitch to Wynn. Outside, ball 4. Great at-bat by Wynn. And he reaches in the first. So with one man on and one out, that's going to bring up Wilson Contreras. Contreras having a pretty good year so far. 246 average, 752 OPS. Getting the start at first base. It's going to be Contreras now, and then Burleson after him. That was a 10-pitch at-bat by Mason Wynn. First pitch from Boyd to Contreras is right down the middle, popped up. That one's going to get into the seats. 0-1. Take a quick look at the Cubs lineup. It's Happ in left, Tucker in right, Crow Armstrong in center with Suzuki at DH, Bush at first, Swanson at short, Horner at second, McGuire catching, and Shaw at third base. So pretty much what you'd expect from the Cubs. As here's the 0-1 pitch to Contreras. Instead, they check on Win. I'd love to see if I can get... Yeah, okay. There we go. Now I'm a little closer to live. The 0-1 to Contreras. Inside, fouled back. 0-2. But yeah, I just want to do the majority of this one despite the rain delay and the ESPN broadcast, which means it's a little bit tougher to follow, but 1 man on, 1 out, 0-2 count to Contreras. Here's the pitch. Ground ball right-hand side. It's going to get all the way out to Horner, who made a great play, but Contreras is safe. That was a really tight play. It's going to put runners at first and second with 1 out. It was a very slow roller where nobody could get to it, and Contreras was able to barely beat that one out, no doubt about it. So, an infield hit for Contreras that rolled a long way at just 77 miles an hour. He put it right where the defense wasn't, and with some great hustle, has reached base. So with 2 men on, 1 out, that's going to bring up Alec Burleson. Big opportunity early in this one. Cardinals trying to take the lead in the season series against the Cubs. Lefty-lefty matchup. Boyd versus Burleson. First pitch in the first. Low and away with the, looked like a slider. 1-0. Burleson hitting .294. He's been the Cardinals' hottest hitter pretty much since the start of May. Batting 4th in the lineup today. 2 men on, just 1 out in the first. Let's see what he can do against Boyd. The 1-0 pitch. In there at 83 with the slider. Bottom of the zone. It's 1-1. Can't get much better than this for a start to the game. 2 men on and just 1 out. Best hitter at the plate, the 1-1. Outside with the fastball, 2-1. Big chance for Burleson. Burleson had 12 extra base hits in June, with a higher batting average as well than May or April, and May was better than April outright as well. The 2-1 pitch. Instead, Boyd steps off. So, first disengagement there. Checking on Win. Win wasn't going anywhere. Two-one pitch to Burleson. Right down the middle with the sinker. It is 2-2. So not a lot of swings from Burley early in this one. Looking for his pitch. Boyd shakes off the catcher today. The 2-2 pitch. Fouled back, still 2-2. I'm a little bit out of sorts as I don't have my usual setup, so it is McGuire at catcher for the Cubs today. Another 2-2 pitch from Boyd to Burleson. Swing and a miss on a slider low and away. 2 men down now with 2 on. So Burleson unable to hold off of that slider low and away. Let's see what got him. Just a good pitch. I mean, it was looking like a low outside fastball, dropped off the table. Tough thing to see as a hitter. So that's going to bring up the 5th hitter in the Cardinal order. It's Joel Pozo. With 2 men on and 2 outs in the first. Getting the nod at DH today. Doesn't have the largest batter's box. Or I guess zone. The pitch is in there for a strike with the slider. 0-1. I guess everyone has the same batter's box. I used the wrong term. Strike zone. Pozo with an 840 OPS. 329 average. Puts the ball in play about as much as anybody. Never walks, never strikes out. As here's the 0-1 from Boyd. Fastball down the middle, swing and a miss. It is 0-2. So Boyd trying to pitch out of a 2 men on, 1 out jam. Now there's 2 outs and an 0-2 count. It's already going to be his 25th pitch of the inning and of the game so far. Pozo, the Cardinal backup catcher, getting the start at DH. Already homered yesterday. Let's see if he can find some momentum here. The 0-2 from Boyd. Up and away. Pozo chased that one, and down he goes. So they went way out of the zone. He tried to make contact, could not, and we go to the bottom of the first, still scoreless. 2 men stranded by Matthew Boyd. Oh, great. I need to set this. There you go. So here's Boyd's stats so far this year. Going to be going over some stats during the commercial breaks, if that even lines up. That's the other problem, is I might be on a delay now, trying to watch the game on computer. But here you are. Boyd with 7 pitching run value. Very low walk rate, average strikeout rate. Doesn't get a lot of whiff, but does get chase, which is what happened there to Pozo. The exit velocity is pretty soft. The best way to beat him appears to just be finding singles. Barrel rate is just average. Doesn't give up a lot of ground balls. So what I'm seeing is when you get a hold of one, you can get a good launch angle on it. You might be able to hit a homer or at least find a gap. And for Erick Fedde, hasn't been the best year. He definitely getting some calls for his spot in the rotation after a couple of bad starts. 1.42 whip, very, very high. 4.56 ERA. Strikeout rate is almost non-existent at 14.2%. Walk rate at 10.3%. You don't want those numbers both in the both in the 10s. You want strikeout rate in the 20s and walk rate in the single digits. So it's not ideal. Barrel rate at least almost average, and hopefully he can just not walk people today. Rely on that defense. And hopefully keep the ball in the ballpark as well. Hasn't been great as of late. But we can look at the pitch mix here. Sinker, cutter, sweeper, changeup. Mostly sinkers and cutters. Sweepers mixed in just about as much as the cutter. The cutter probably shouldn't be mixed in this much, right? I believe it's not a great pitch. Let's see. The sweeper's actually been his worst pitch. Or no, that's in movement. Here you go. Basically only should be throwing the sinker this year. So, can't always do that. We'll see what he decides to do today. First pitch of the bottom half. It is outside with the cutter. 1-0 on Happ. Ian Happ, the leadoff hitter for the Cubs. The sinker misses outside as well, 2-0. Fedde is 0-5 with a 5.28 ERA since May 9th. And he goes inside on Happ, high fly ball, right field. That one is foul. 2-1. So we're hoping for a bounce back start from Fedde here. Not his best pitch. The sinker is something I'd like to see him throw, but I'd like it outside and somehow in the zone. The 2-1 goes to a sweeper right down the middle for strike 2. I think Happ just asked if that was the center of the zone. Trying to figure some things out. The 2-2 pitch to Happ. Ooh, he does go to the changeup outside, but doesn't get the chase. It's 3-2. I thought that was a good idea from Fedde. But you do want to clip the zone with that if you can. The 3-2 pitch to Happ. Goes to the sweeper outside. It's lined into right field, but Burleson makes the catch on the run for out number 1. Oh, wait, I went to this. It should be this one today, because we don't have the bottom of the screen. Either way, here is Kyle Tucker. He has a 901 OPS. He's one of the best hitters in baseball. 283 average. First pitch. Up and away with the changeup. 1-0. Hasn't been super good against the Cardinals, but you can see the talent there. Especially against the Astros in Houston. As here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside with the sinker, 2-0. Fedde's next pitch. In there with the sinker at the bottom of the zone, it's 2-1. Tucker used to be the 5-hitter on that 2017 Astros team. He was a little down the order to be not 2017, my bad, 2019 Astros team. In 2021, he kind of carved out that spot for himself and played a great next few years. Sometimes batting as low as 7th on that really deep lineup, as Fedde missed outside with the changeup for ball 4, and Tucker walks. So that one did clip the zone, didn't get the call. Kyle Tucker on first with 1 out. Today, that's going to bring up Seiya Suzuki, hitting .261 on the year, playing DH. First pitch is in there with the cutter, 0-1. Seiya's only improved in home runs and RBIs every season of his career in the majors so far. The 0-1 pitch from Fedde. Just downstairs with the sweeper, 1-1. The 1-1 from Fedde to Suzuki, upstairs, and Tucker swipes second. No throw from Pedro Pajes there, as he got a great jump on that Fedde sweeper. Just took off and had the base stolen by the time it was caught by Pajes. The 1-2 pitch missed up and away with the cutter. It's 2-2. So Kyle Tucker with a walk and a stolen base. In scoring position now for Suzuki in the bottom of the first with 1 out. This will be the 16th pitch of the inning for Fedde. Here's the 2-2. Low and away with the sweeper, 3-2. So Fedde already in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to need to make a good pitch with PCA waiting on deck. The 3-2 from Fedde. Reached out and poked into the air in center field. Nootbaar and Scott collapsing. Well, no, Nootbaar ended up cutting him off out front. I was going to say collapsing on the ball. I didn't want to suggest that they collided in any way, but they were both collapsing on the flight of that ball. Nootbaar had to make the call and cut off Scott, which is not usually what you like to see. No, that wasn't even Victor Scott. That was Hampson. Looks like Hampson called for that. He's supposed to have the priority as the center fielder. Nootbaar decided to make the grab. A little bit strange, but Nootbaar made the play. Hampson's all right, so no problem. And this one is driven out to left field by PCA. Nootbaar lets it bounce off his legs. That's going to allow Tucker to come in and score for the first run of the game. It is 1-0 Cubs. So PCA finally delivers in this rivalry. Obviously, he had a couple homers in that first game. And he's helped out in those blowouts, but this is one of those big moments where he came through. And Nootbaar really allowed that to happen. He would have been held up at third if Nootbaar hadn't stumbled with that one in left field. So not a great play defensively there. 1 man on with 2 outs. Now it's going to be Bush. Bush has had an incredible run against the Cardinals this year, as Fedde will check on PCA. So that's the first disengagement of Bush's at bat. First pitch from Fedde to Bush is in there, and Pajes allows another stolen base. Or didn't. He stood up. Maybe PCA ran back. So a bluffed stolen base by PCA. It was a fastball. Ended up going back to first. And this time, he goes back again. Pages is literally standing up as he receives each of these pitches, so it's really hard to tell without actually being at the game. But PCA's still on first. It's 1-1 now on Bush with 2 outs in the first. 1-0 Cubs, the 1-1 pitch from Fedde. Outside this time he goes, and Pages makes a strong throw, but PCA beats the throw and steals second base. So now he has the bag, and with PCA on second and a 2-1 count on Bush, Fedde's going to have to make a good pitch. Just beat that tag. The 2-1 from Fedde to Bush. He is up and in with the sinker, 3-1. Bush has the highest OPS of the first base position in baseball, it looks like, after a few good weeks. And Fedde gets the call with the changeup below the zone. It is 3-2. So Fedde about to match the pitch count of Boyd in the first inning. A little bit less to show for it. The 3-2 pitch. Check swing, fouled out of the glove of Pages, still 3-2. So Boyd threw about 25 pitches. This is going to be pitch number 25 for Fedde. But Fedde's at least allowed 1 run. And now he has to get Bush on a full count. 3-2 pitch to Bush. Upstairs, popped foul, and we'll do it again. Bush with a 752 OPS with 2 strikes. That is the 5th highest in baseball this year. If you have ESPN available, I would recommend just going and watching the game today on ESPN. As I will provide a couple stats, but I think I'm a little delayed, so it's probably not worth it. As Fedde misses inside with the sinker, that's ball 4. 2 men on with 2 outs. And Fedde is really struggling this inning. It's going to bring up Dansby Swanson. And Dusty Blake's going to have a conversation with Fedde. So 2 men on with 2 outs for Dansby Swanson. He's getting his batting gloves all wrapped up. Getting ready to swing it. Cubs offense is top 3 in runs per game, OPS, home runs, and stolen bases. Very, very impressive offense. PCA telling a story to Donovan at second right now. Donovan shaking his head, nodding his head, I guess is what I meant to say. The Tigers and the Cubs are both 35-7 when scoring first this season. Makes sense for the Tigers, a little bit less sense for the Cubs, in my opinion, as the Tigers have that crazy pitching staff and bullpen. So if you get the lead with that crew, you expect to keep it. Well, the Cubs appear to just outscore people, and once you get started, can't catch up to them. So that makes sense. Here's the 1-0 from Fedde to Swanson, and Fedde's going to try a pickoff move on PCA. Didn't work. So it is 1-0 on Dansby. He's hitting .253 this season. A little bit lower than his usual OPS, although it's pretty similar to last year. As Fedde misses outside with the sinker, it's 2-0. This is a huge at-bat. You have a righty-righty matchup here. You really should throw a strike. The 2-0 pitch. Right down the middle with the cutter. 2-1. In my opinion, I think the sinker would be the best pitch to throw. Got to get the ball on the ground. Dansby's been awful with runners in scoring position this year. Sweeper over the middle of the plate, fouled back. It is 2-2. I guess if Fedde can find the zone consistently with those cutters and sweepers, maybe that's what you have to do. I just think the sinker in on the hands is probably a good pitch to get some soft contact, as the cutter outside is popped foul. Still 2-2. So I believe Dansby probably felt the movement on that pitch. Probably didn't feel good making contact there, that bad contact on the cutter outside the zone. Maybe you could go to the sinker outside and strike him out with that. The 2-2. Sweeper outside is fouled back again. So a good at-bat from Swanson. I think a sinker at the top of the zone could be huge here. A lot of good options for Fedde. But only a 14% strikeout rate on the year. He had a 21% last year. Here's the 2-2. Right down the middle with the sinker, popped up. And out of play once again. So a great at-bat from Dansby. Fedde's already at 33 pitches. So if he has 3 innings like this, he'll be out of the game by the end of the third. So not a great pace from Fedde, but if you can keep the Cardinals in the game, that's all you can ask for. At least give you 5 innings, maybe 3 earned. The 2-2 pitch. Right down the middle, smoked to left field, but he pulled it. He was just early, and that one is foul. So the Cardinals are lucky to get out of there alive. If Dansby had waited a second on that one, it could have been way out of here. So Fedde ready for the 9th pitch of the at-bat against Dansby, but Dansby's not ready. I believe he just took his time out. Adjusts his gloves. And here is another 2-2 pitch to Swanson. Inside with the changeup, popped up, playable for Donovan. He'll make the call and the grab, and that's the 3rd out of the 1st. So Dansby pops out. The Cubs strand a couple, but they lead 1-0. After the base hit from PCA. All right, so who is due up? It's going to be Nootbaar, Sajaci, Pages. I kind of like that. I don't love Pages, Hampson being the guys to drive them in, but Nootbaar and Sajaci are a couple guys who can get on base. Nootbaar just made a mistake in the field. I believe that would take his outs above average maybe down, although that's more the arm value, because he ranged over to the baseball perfectly fine, but he just screwed up actually picking it up. So I don't even know what stat that comes down to. It should probably be outs above average, but that's for a catch there, not for bobbling the ball and letting a run score. So I hope it affects his fielding run value just for accuracy, but here's his hitting numbers. Hits the ball hard, barrels it up a good amount, decent launch angle, really nice bat speed, doesn't strike out too much, walks a lot. I mean, you can't really ask for much better than this. Especially from a guy who led off a lot of the year. That walk rate was huge. But when you have a guy like Donovan, it is what it is. So here's Thomas Sajaci. -3 batting run value. Still hits the ball relatively hard. Squares it up. Doesn't strike out too much, but the walk rate is really low. That's something he could definitely improve on. Against pitchers that aren't consistent with their locations, he still chooses to put the ball in play when he could try to work a walk. It's just something he could work on, but it is what it is. So Boyd is back out to the mound. Cardinals trying a platoon lineup approach against him. That's why you see Sajacy, you see Hampson. Obviously, you also see Sajacy because Arenado just can't play tonight, which hurts the order for sure. But if Nootbaar can reach and Sajacy can get him to second base, you could have a run scored in this inning. I think that's more than you can ask for. So Nootbaar takes ball one. He was squaring around a bunt, but it was a fastball inside. He pulled it back, and it is 1-0. The 1-0 pitch to Nootbaar, right down the middle with the fastball, 1-1. The 1-1 from Boyd to Newt, swing and a miss on a slider, low and away. So a couple good pitches from Boyd get him ahead in the count. It's 1-2. Here is the pitch to Nootbaar. Way low and away with the slider, 2-2. Nootbaar trying to get on as the first hitter in this inning. He is a good leadoff hitter for the reason that he gets on base. Walks a ton, has a little bit of power as well. The 2-2 from Boyd to Nootbaar. Swing and a miss. Went to the fastball, middle, and Nootbaar swung right under it. So, not the best swing from Nootbaar. He'll probably look back and wonder how he didn't make contact with that one. Probably a good spin rate from Boyd. For the first out of the inning. So that's going to bring up Thomas Sajacy. He's hitting .254. Has one home run on the year. That was against the Red Sox in Boston. It was actually on Sunday Night Baseball. First pitch from Boyd to Sajacy is just inside with the fastball, 1-0. .1-0 pitch. Inside, popped foul. It's 1-1. That was the exact same location. Cardinals probably hoping that the starters on both sides have short outings in this one. Try to make it a bullpen game as early as possible. Have some good at-bats. The 1-1. Right down the middle, driven out to right field. That one is back, but Tucker makes a sliding. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. Incredible. Wait. Did he catch the ball? So JC's standing on second base. He did not catch it. He smothered the ball in right field. Tried to get an out call, but it was not caught, and it's going to be a double for Thomas Sajacy. So Tucker with some good acting, but he did not catch that one. So a ball driven to right field by Sajacy ended up as extra bases. He is on second with a 1 out. And that's basically all you can ask for. You have a man in scoring position for Pedro Pajes and Garrett Hampson. As Tucker walks off that collision with the wall. Ump's having a discussion right now. I don't think there's any question. The ball hits the ground. I don't know what this could possibly be about. Maybe you could give a triple to Sajacy if the ump called him out. But there's no doubt it's extra bases. What is this discussion? I think a double is completely fair. Triple probably wouldn't be very reasonable because Tucker can get up and throw that ball in. It would have been an incredible catch by Tucker. I think there's no way it's an error. I think it's a very simple ruling. You go ahead and go with a double. 1 out. So JC on second. And get Pajes to the plate. What is happening? Like, let the game go on. I mean, this is good news for the Cardinals. Any delay is good for the Cardinals in this game, but maybe not in their most offensive inning. The reasoning you'd want a delay is gets the starter out of the game earlier, makes them wait longer. That matters more later in the game. Yeah. Okay. Placed him on second base, no problem. All right, so JC is at second base with 1 out. The pitch from Boyd to Pajes. He's up and away with the fastball 1-0. There is some space on the right side of the infield here for Pajes. The 1-0 pitch is chopped back. For strike 1, it's 1-1. Pedro Pajes hitting .214. He's a good defensive catcher, although he was unable to prevent those stolen bases in the first. Hopefully he can deliver offensively here. He has had a good series at Wrigley in the past. Let's see a big swing against Boyd. The 1-1 pitch from from Boyd to Pajes. He's in there for a strike. 1-2. It's tough to adjust to the new layout of ESPN. Which is why, usually I don't do any games that aren't on Bally. Or I guess FanDuel. But in this case, it's just such a huge one. Might as well. The 1-2 pitch from Boyd to Pajes. Up and away with the fastball 2-2. So Pajes has worked a 2-2 count with JC waiting on second and just 1 out in the top of the second. Chance to tie the game against the Cubs here with a base hit. 2-2 pitch from Boyd to Pajes. Down the middle, fouled away. Still 2-2. Another 2-2. He's down and in. It's 3-2. That was the slider. Next pitch is going to be the 40th of the game for Boyd. On deck is Garrett Hampson, Cardinal center fielder. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup, up and away. That one was not going to find the zone, but Pajes chased it. And there's 2 down for Hampson. So a big pitch from Boyd there, gets the chase. And now the inning comes down to Hampson. He's hitting 180 this year. Right-handed center fielder. He can definitely run very fast, but hasn't been very consistent at the plate. Takes a curveball outside, it's 1-0. One really nice trait about Hampson is that he does have a decent walk rate. Gets his OPS up to .519. with just a 180 batting average. The 1-0 pitch from Boyd to Hampson. He's going to go ahead and step off. That's the first disengagement. So if Hampson can work a walk, we could see Donovan. I think that's the best approach if you can get it. The 1-0, right down the middle with the changeup, 1-1. So obviously you're going to have to take a good swing at either the fastball or the changeup if Boyd continues to attack, which is what he should do. So it's likely going to come down to Hampson, but if he can foul some pitches off, make Boyd work, maybe draw a walk, that would be huge. The 1-1 from Boyd to Hampson. Right down the middle with the fastball, fouled back, it's 1-2. So I'm glad Hampson made some contact there, but that was a pitch to hit. Fastball middle. Boyd getting away with it against the bottom of the Cardinal order. The 1-2 from Boyd to Hampson. Up and in, fouled back, still 1-2. So that one was a little inside, but good job by Hampson making some contact. Another 1-2 pitch from Boyd to Hampson with Sajasi on second in the top of the second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup low and away. And the Cardinals strand yet another base runner. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Cubs. So it'll be the top of the Cardinal order next time. So that's always nice. Let's see who's due up. It's going to be Horner, McGuire, and Shaw. Hopefully this is an easy inning for Erick Fedde. Nico does have one homer. It was against the Cardinals. Now he has 3. So he hit a few home runs recently. And I'll be back in just 1 second. He strikes out the least in baseball. That's a cool stat. Righty. Sure, the game might not quite be back. Yeah, not quite. 30 more seconds of ad break here. We take a look at Erick Fedde against this lineup. Horner has struggled against him. McGuire actually has a homer. And Shaw has also struggled. So hopefully you can just attack these hitters. Happ hasn't been great either, so Fedde just needs to attack these next 4 hitters, get through this inning quickly, and give his offense a chance to come back out. All right, here we go. Fedde misses upstairs with his first pitch to Horner. It is 1-0. The 1-0 pitch is up and in with the cutter, 2-0. Both pitchers have majority first pitch balls against these hitters. As the sinker does catch the zone there, it's 2-1. So first pitch strikes below 50% for both starters so far, as the Cubs do lead 1-0. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Fedde to Horner. chopped up the middle. That one's going to be off the glove of Burleson. Hoerner's going to try to stretch it to a double, and he will. Ooh, he might have come off the bag. Cardinals should probably take a look at that one, but I think Hoerner's probably in there with a double. This slide, does he stay on the bag throughout the duration of the slide? It's something you should be able to look at. Good attempt by Burleson. He actually had to pick up the ball off his glasses, which fell off of his hat. Probably doesn't need those sunglasses today. And let's see. If his hand stayed on the bag, it's a double. Let's go ahead and see. Well, Fedde has delivered the next pitch, so Hoerner is safe at second. 1-0 on Reese McGuire. McGuire with a 769 OPS. As this one's grounded to the right side, great play by Contreras to stop that one for out number 1. So that one was 102 miles an hour off the bat, but Contreras was right there to smother it and step on the bag. That's a huge out to hold the man at second base. First pitch to Shaw is in there with the sinker, 0-1. Shaw, the third baseman of the Cubs, very young, one of their better prospects. But a man on second and 1 out means you can just get these next 2 outs and not worry about it. The 0-1. Low and away, it's going to skip past Pages, and that changes everything that I just said. Now, a ground ball or a sac fly could score Hoerner, and Pages lets another one go by. Pages seems like he's going to be losing his spot in the lineup if he continues to do stuff like this, but he calls a great game from behind the plate, so that has bought him a lot of time. Here's the 1-1 to Shaw. In there with the sweeper, it is 1-2. The 1-2 pitch is below the zone with the sinker, 2-2 on Shaw. Now a strikeout would be huge for Fedde, but he hasn't received a whole lot of those this season. 2-2 pitch to Matt Shaw. Low and away with the sweeper, no chase. And it's 3-2. You still have to throw a strike to Shaw. It's much better to attack Shaw, try to get a soft grounder with the infield in, than have to pitch to Ian Happ with 2 men on. Here's the 3-2. Low and away with the sinker, and that's ball 4. So Fedde unable to find the zone. And there's runners at the corners with 1 out for Ian Happ. So that's definitely not what you're looking for out of Fedde. Ground ball could be 2. But you really don't want him facing Kyle Tucker. First pitch to Happ in the second inning. In there with the cutter. Middle in, it is 0-1. So with runners at the corners and a 1-0 lead, Ian Happ bats with just 1 out in the second. Fedde approaching 50 pitches already. It is just the second inning. This one is pitch 49. Here's the 0-1. Instead, he does a pickoff move on Shaw. Does not work out for Fedde, and that is the first disengagement of this at-bat. Happ is 0 for 1 so far in the game. The 0-1 pitch is up and away, and they did a pitch out. That doesn't make any sense. Trying to back pick a guy at third. I think Pages is overthinking it. as John King is already getting ready in the Cardinal bullpen. Definitely not something you would want to see. But if Fedde can get a ground ball here, probably don't need him. It's a big game in the season, but you really don't want to see Fedde go out of this one too early. Let me check when the All-Star break is and see whether that has affected this scheduling. Looks like that is the week of July 14th through 17th is the All-Star break. So that's coming up, but it's not too soon. Yeah, the Cardinals still need Fedde to try to get through as much of this game as he can, as it's now 2-1 on Ian Happ. Here's the pitch from Fedde. Fouled back, 2-2. So from a game perspective, might be good to get Fedde out of the game and just try to do a bullpen game, but from a season perspective, it's probably better to have Fedde on the mound. 2-2 pitch from Fedde to Happ. Way upstairs with the cutter. It is 3-2. If Fedde walks Happ, I wouldn't even be opposed to bringing in King at that point. Get that lefty-lefty matchup against Tucker. And try to have King go a couple innings, because Fedde is very wild so far. The 3-2 is outside ball 4. So a rough start for Fedde, and he hasn't let anything happen yet outside of the 1 run in the first. So I think this would be an okay time to just get him out of the game. Try to prevent the disaster that appears to be coming. And Marmol is walking straight out to the mound. And after just an inning and a third, he's going to take the ball from Erick Fedde and give it to John King. So Marmol is managing to win this ball game. He's seen enough from Fedde today. I guess that makes sense. That's going to be a very interesting move. I like it. I like the aggression. Doesn't always have to be a perfect game. The bullpen's been saved up for this type of game. John King coming in the game. We can actually try to replace these stats. Try to get John King's numbers against the Cubs. So here you go. I mean, not great. He's allowed a 1 dot to Tucker and to Bush and to Swanson. So he's really got to get these next couple outs. That starts with Kyle Tucker. So we'll see how, with the bases loaded, and this history of 2 home runs and 7 at-bats, we will have to see how King approaches Tucker. That being said, King doesn't have a very high walk rate, so at least with this high ground ball rate, low walk rate, you're likely to get the ball in play. It could be a double play. So that's what we can hope for here in this very dangerous spot against the Cubs. All right, Kyle Tucker stepped up to the plate. Bases loaded, 1 out. John King in the game. 7% walk rate this year. 4.96 ERA. The first pitch. In there with the sinker, it is 0-1. So good pitch from King to Tucker. Tucker does have a walk and a stolen base so far in the game. Yet to pick up a hit. He's been great in his career with the bases loaded. 30 for 72 in these spots. As here's the 0-1 from King. Outside with the slider, 1-1. Love to see King continue to attack the zone against Tucker, but not allow any barrels. Try to get one on the ground. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Kyle Tucker. In there with the sinker outside, it is 1-2. Great pitch from King. And the pressure is now on Tucker to put the ball in play here, with the bases loaded and just one out. Horner on third, Shaw on second, and Happ on first. It's a 1-0 Cubs game. The 1-2 pitch. Grounded foul, still 1-2. That was a hittable pitch, a really good one from King, regardless, as Tucker didn't see it coming. But he was able to make contact, so we'll see it again here. Another 1-2 count. John King delivers, and it's low with the changeup, 2-2. So now you really just have to start pummeling the zone here. Can't risk missing the strike zone with the bases loaded and a 2-2 count. Especially with Tucker at the plate. Here is the 2-2 from King. Inside pulled, up the middle for a base hit. 2 runs are going to come in to score. Happ is probably going to go first to third. Yes, he will. And it's 3-0 Cubs in the second. So a rough outing for Fedde. Has caught up to him. That's going to be 3 earned runs for Fedde. Another one he's responsible for on third with just 1 out. And just a great piece of hitting by Tucker. He saw the pitch right out of the hand, put the barrel on it, and nobody was playing in that hole up the middle. So to try to keep the team in it, here's the pitch to Suzuki. Finds the zone with the curveball. It's 0-1. It is 3-0 Cubs with runners at the corners and 1 out. John King, a high ground ball rate pitcher. Hopefully he can get one here that's actually playable. The 0-1 pitch. Smoked foul, it's 0-2. John King trying to get through multiple innings. The 0-2 is in the dirt. Runner's still at the corners. Pajas showing some frustration. But a good block there. Probably hurt physically. Only Sammy Sosa and Andre Dawson on the Cubs have been faster to as many RBIs as Suzuki's had in his career so far in the big leagues. As here is the 2-2 pitch from John King to Seiya Suzuki with runners at the corners and 1 out. King delivers. Ground ball up the middle. King is going to go to the plate. Pajas runs down Happ. And the tag is applied by Sajasi for out number 2. So a good play by the Cardinal defense. And now there's 2 outs with runners at first and second. So good job by Pajas and King. And Thomas Sajasi to go ahead and apply the tag. So it is 3-0 Cubs with 2 outs in the second inning. It's going to bring up Pete Crow Armstrong against John King. It is a lefty-lefty matchup. Seems like something you would want. Let's see if King can find a good pitch here. The pitch. Just outside with the slider. 1-0. The 1-0 pitch from King. Fouled back on the sinker inside. It's 1-1. PCA is third in WAR this year. Tucker is on the list as well. He is 8th in Fangraphs WAR. Skubal, Ohtani, Cal Raleigh, Judge, Bobby Witt, and Jeremy Pena also make that list. It's cool that Pena is outdoing Tucker so far this year. As here's a ground ball by PCA. Donovan's going to be there. And the Cardinals are finally out of a rough second inning. It is 3-0 Cubs. Could have been worse. PCA showing some frustration as the top of the Cardinals order is due up. Try to get back in this. Here's Donovan, obviously one of the best expected batting averages in baseball. It's produced a 296 average, so a very similar average to expected. Great launch angle. 41% in the sweet spot. Squares up the ball, doesn't strike out. Walks a decent amount. Plays decent defense as well. To do all of that with a sprint speed in the 30th percentile just shows you how fundamentally sound Donovan's game is. And hopefully he can get on base to start the third and get the Cardinals back in the ball game. I really like the sequence of hitters in this order. Donovan, Wynn, Contreras, Burleson. I think Nootbaar should probably be above Pozo on this list. I think you'd probably want Nootbaar, Sajaci, Pozo. And then some order of Pajes and Hampson. I don't think that matters that much, but the game is back, so we'll see what Donovan can do. First pitch to Brendan Donovan from Boyd is in there with the curveball. It's 0-1. Donovan is 0 for 1 so far in the game today. He grounded out to second. Looking for a better spot in the infield to hit the ball this time. Here is the 0-1 pitch. Low and away with the sinker, 1-1. All offseason, Donovan worked on hitting the ball where the defense isn't. Recently, he's been hitting it a little bit more where the defense is, so hopefully he can find some more of that. The 1-1 ground ball gets through off the glove of Horner, and that one went where the defense wasn't, and Horner might be hurt. He's going to need a second after a slight collision there and hitting the turf. Or I guess it's probably real grass. Sorry. Yeah, it's definitely real grass. It's Wrigley. But yeah. Actually, that was just a weird contortion by Horner. He seems to be all right. Just needed a second, so Horner's fine. Donovan's on first, one man on, nobody out. Cardinals trying to battle back, down 3-0. It's going to bring up Mason Wynn against Boyd. Cardinals are all in on the bullpen game now. Boyd has been good this year. Let's see if the Cardinals can rally, come back here in the third inning. It's 1-0 on Wynn. The first pitch was above the zone. Here's the 1-0 pitch from Boyd to Wynn. Down the middle, fouled back, 1-1. Wynn does already have a walk in this game. Mason Wynn's going to be on call with ESPN's Sunday Night Football. Sorry, Sunday Night Baseball later today. So we'll see if he has something to say. You can actually ask him a question on Twitter. As they attempt to pick off Donovan, that's going to be the first disengagement of the Wynn at bat. Donovan's not really a fast player. It's a rare trait of a leadoff hitter. So it's weird to throw over. But it's good that it's getting in Boyd's head. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Boyd to Wynn. Upstairs, 2-1. So good at bat from Wynn so far. Already has a walk in the ball game. Chance to stack up the bases here. The 2-1 is upstairs, 3-1 on Wynn. So Boyd just missing with a couple of pitches. See if he can find the zone here or if Wynn can walk once again. With Wilson Contreras on deck. Takes the 3-1 changeup, which dropped into the zone. It is 3-2. So all bets are off now. Full count on Wynn. Donovan on first. Contreras on deck. 3-2 pitch from Boyd to Wynn. Wynn's going to go ahead and call timeout. So I like that. Take him out of that rhythm. See if you can work a good at-bat here. 3-2 pitch once again from Boyd to Mason Wynn. Inside fastballs popped up. Right field and into the seats. So it's still 3-2 on Wynn. Another 3-2 pitch from Boyd. Swing and a miss on a fastball at the bottom of the zone. A great at-bat from Wynn does not result in getting on base. It's the 6th strikeout already for Boyd tonight in just 7 hitters. And that will bring up Wilson Contreras. Or sorry, it's not just 7 hitters. 7 outs. But yeah, here comes Contreras. He'll do a pickoff attempt of Donovan again, so first disengagement of this at-bat has already happened. Contreras is 1 for 1 so far in the game today. Had a little bit of an infield hit to second base, found it where the defense was not. So, good job doing just what Donovan did just now. First pitch to Contreras is down the middle, hit high in the air to left center field. But ranging over and making a running grab at the wall is PCA. So 100 miles an hour off the bat, left center field gap. Might have been a home run in a different year if the wind was blowing out a little harder. But not tonight. So a fly out by Contreras will bring up Alec Burleson. Wind is blowing in today, so maybe not a lot of home run likelihood in this one. 1 man on with 2 outs. Here's the first pitch to Burleson. It is in there with the curveball. 0-1. Boyd with a little bit of talk. I don't know who it was to. The 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss on the fastball, up and away. It's 0-2. So the Wrigley wind coming in, already hurting the Cardinals. That probably would have been gone in a lot of situations, but got to hit it just a little harder next time. And here's the 0-2 pitch to Burleson with one man on. In the dirt with the slider, 1-2. So it's Donovan on first, Burleson at the plate. On deck, I believe, is Pozo in that fifth spot. Yes, he is. Maybe you could give him another base runner, as he's done well here so far. The 1-2 pitch to Burleson. Popped foul, and we'll do it again. One, two from Boyd to Burleson. Low and away with the slider, 2-2. The baseball story has been really interesting this year. If you think about how the baseballs have changed over the years, StatCast has seen it. Home runs just aren't happening quite as much throughout baseball over the course of this season, and that one is another one that you can chalk up to the baseball change and obviously the wind at Wrigley. Just hung up there when it didn't look like it should have. But at the same time, that's how it was in like the 2000s, so who knows what the baseball really should look like. But here is the 2-2 pitch from Boyd to Burleson. Instead, they check on Donovan. So is that one for this at-bat? I think it is. It might be two. I know he did it in each of the last two at-bats. I'm not sure if he'd done it with Burleson yet. I don't think he had, so I think it's just one disengagement. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Alec Burleson. Swing and a miss on a fastball up and down goes Burleson, so we go to the bottom of the third. Cubs still lead 3-0. Would have been really nice to have that Contreras homer. It's going to bring up Bush. Bush has just been good in general, 941 OPS. Strikeout rate a little bit high, but the walk rate makes up for it pretty well, 10.2%. Contact numbers are great, 18 homers. 3 of them against the Cardinals has put him in the lead of the OPS stat. He's a good player this year. Oh, whoops. All right, so Mason Wynn is on the mic tonight. Hashtag AskSNB. We'll see. I'm going to have to probably watch this in post. Maybe I could live stream this somehow and listen in on Wynn specifically, because that's a really interesting part of this game. It's a good reason to watch Sunday Night Baseball. Get these interviews, as King is still on the mound. It's 0-1 on Bush. I'm going to see if I can find a way to stream this one. And I can relay it. The 0-1 pitch is driven out to left field. That's going to be a base hit for Bush. So Bush reaches base twice already in this game. He has absolutely killed the Cardinals so far this year. So 1 man on, nobody out. Mason Wynn on the mic. Wynn saying it's been a lot of fun this year. That everybody was counting him out at the start of the year. Cardinals have battled pretty well. Here's the first pitch to Swanson. It's in there for a strike with the changeup. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch to Swanson is low and away with the changeup. 1-1. Communicating with Donnie about the double play situation, as there's 1 man on with nobody out. The 1-1 pitch to Swanson. He's outside with the sinker. 2-1. Seems the Cardinals are playing cards during the rain delay. That's pretty cool. The Cards play cards. As King misses outside with another sinker, it's 3-1. So Swanson ahead in the count. Already has a man on with nobody out in the third. The 3-1 pitch from King. Outside, ball 4. So he missed outside with a changeup. 2 men on with nobody out. And this one could get in scary territory if the Cardinals can't get a few outs here. One thing you just can't do is walk hitters with this defense behind you, as the sinker catches the lower outside corner. On Horner, it's 0-1. So we'll see if Mason Wynn can make a play in this inning. The 0-1 is a swing and a miss on a curveball below the zone. 0-2 now on Nico Horner. King is ready. The 0-2 pitch to Horner. Check swing, foul ball. Still 0-2. The 0-2 from King. Driven foul. It's still 0-2. Mason Wynn said he could probably throw 96 if he was a pitcher. We'll see if this defense can come into play for the Cardinals here and try to get the team back in this one. The 0-2 pitch is outside 1-2. The 1-2 to Horner. Driven into left field. That's going to drop for a hit. Wynn unable to get to that one, and the bases are now loaded with nobody out in the third. hard hit base hit there for Reese McGuire, and it is 4-0 Cubs in the third with the bases loaded and nobody out. It's going to bring up Matt Shaw. This is still a game the Cardinals could come back in, barring a huge hit. In this situation, they get 3 chances at that, though, so double play would be huge. And that is it. Wow. That is it for John King. So not a good outing from any of the Cardinal pitching so far. We'll see who's coming in. They haven't told us, which I still don't understand why, but let's go over to the Cardinal roster. We can try to figure it out. I mean, you could see, Matt's pitched yesterday, got the win. Maton's available. But we're probably going to see Swanson or Riley O'Brien here. Probably O'Brien. You're going to need him to go a full game here. Really fill out that long reliever role. So I think you got to see Swanson or O'Brien here. Does one of them have a higher ground ball rate, which could be important here? Riley O'Brien. .58% ground ball rate. I think that is a good argument. Matt Swanson. 50% ground ball rate. So they've both been great in that stat. Swanson's been a positive pitcher overall, 284 with a .89 whip. O'Brien at 270 with a 1.26 whip. So with the bases loaded, your guy should be Swanson, it looks like. As that walk rate's a little high for O'Brien. You can't have walks here. Swanson also has a decently high walk rate, but someone has to be chosen, and the guy who's less likely to walk the hitter, same likelihood to get a ground ball, allows fewer base runners. I think that's usually the guy. It is Swanson, so good choice. It's Matt Shaw. First pitch cutter is a strike. Swanson might even have an argument for a spot in the rotation if he can have a good game here, especially getting out of this situation. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Shaw. Swing and a miss on a sweeper, low and away. So Swanson way ahead in the count on Shaw. Striking out the first out would be big to keep the Cardinals in this game, give them a chance to come back. Bases loaded, nobody out. 0-2 count on Shaw. Here's the pitch from Swanson. Check swing. No, he did not. It's 1-2. That was a sweeper. It looked like Shaw might have even attempted a swing there, but not quite. The pitch, ground ball. Third base, they're going to go to the plate, and it's going to get away. So it's basically a base hit. It's 5-0 Cubs now with nobody out. So JC missed the throw to the plate, and Arenado's presence is missed in this one. Pitch in there for strike one to Happ. It's 0-1. He got a ground ball there. That's an error. Can't blame Swanson for that. The 0-1 pitch to Happ. Chopped in the infield again. That one's going to be a tough play. Contreras with the tag for out number 1. Cubs fans going a little crazy after that play, including Ian Happ. And Council's going to have a complaint saying he went out of the base path. Might be the wrong call. I think he was tagged out. So I don't know what's going on here. 1 out, runners at second and third. It's 6-0 Cubs. Council having an argument with the ump. So Contreras picked this one up, attempted a tag, and did tag him. He just barely got the glove on Happ, so there's nothing to complain about there. He said, "What do you mean?" to the umpire, but the glove did tap him. Tag was applied for out number 1. Swanson's a great pitcher. I think maybe he should just become a starter because Fedde doesn't appear to be working. So 1 out, runners at second and third. It's 6-0 Cubs. Here comes Kyle Tucker against Matt Swanson. Missed low and in with the sweeper. It's 1-0. I do want to hear some more from Mason Wynn, but I don't know if he's still going to be available. Missed low with the cutter. It's 2-0. All right. So they're just asking Wynn about that. Wynn said he'd be hot if they called him out of the base path as well. So it is what it is. 2-0 pitch to Tucker. Driven in the air to center field. Hampson makes a good catch on the run, but Reese McGuire is going to come in to score. It's 7-0 Cubs in the third. At this point, it's going to be about limiting the innings in this one. I actually scheduled my day around the original start time, which was 6:10. So I am going to need to head out early in this game, so it might just be the right time after this inning. I do want to hear Mason Wynn, but I'll be watching, but I don't think I can continue to stream. I have to eat dinner at some point and have something else lined up. So we'll finish the inning. Here's the 0-1. Missed inside by Swanson. It's 1-1. The 1-1 pitch is driven out to left field. That one's going to get down and into the corner. Extra bases for Seiya Suzuki. It's going to be 8-0 Cubs. Suzuki stops at second with a double. And this is a disaster game for the Cardinals. I think this is marks where we are in the season. The Cardinals starting pitching just not deep enough. Fedde, not the guy. Starting pitching usually tells the story of a game, and you need better pitching than this. I don't know. I mean, the Cardinals might just have to get one guy replace Fedde. You'd like to replace Michaelis as well. So they might not get aggressive at the deadline. Might have to just play it out with a couple bad starters and assume you're an average team this year. But I'd love to see him buy a couple starting pitchers. Maybe get a discount on Sandy Alcantara. As he has not been great, you might as well take your chances with him. with this defense behind him. Get him to throw some strikes, you know? If Sandy's throwing strikes with this defense behind him, I mean, it's got to work. He has some great stuff. So I think Sandy might be a cool move. Cardinals could go out and grab, but this one's going to hurt their chances in the division, barring a miraculous comeback. As here's the 0-2 pitch from Swanson to Crow Armstrong. Popped up. That one's going to be playable. On the run is Sajacy, and he can't get there. So Cardinals continue to miss Arenado. I don't know if Arenado would have been fast enough to catch that ball, but if he had reached the position Sajacy reached, I think he would have caught it over the shoulder there. But a good attempt by Sajacy nonetheless. Good effort. He's not one of the platinum glovers in baseball, so it's good to see him getting that experience, getting some more reps at third base. You never know where Sajacy might end up once he develops at the big league level. Wind just covered 101 feet on that play. Showing some good hustle. The 0-2 from Swanson to PCA in the third inning. Popped foul, still 0-2. The 0-2 pitch from Swanson to PCA once again. Here's another one. Up and away, 1-2. Here's a 1-2 from Swanson. Popped up. That one should be playable, but it might get into the seats, and it will. So, good angle by PCA on both of those to just get him out of reach of the defense. Good at bats. Swanson's about to throw his 19th pitch, and the Cubs might do a number on the Cardinals bullpen. Good news is the Cardinals get a day off tomorrow, so that's why they're willing to empty out the bullpen, try to win this one. Might be a tough game. Here's the 1-2 to PCA. Right down the middle, ground ball. Donovan makes the play to first, and that is it for the third. 8-0 Cubs, 8 runs on 7 hits. That means you walked a bunch of players. You can't have that. And that is why this stream's going to end right now, as I did miss dinner. Bad 3-inning stream there, as the Cubs dominated that entire 3-inning stretch, 8-0. Cardinals left a bunch of runners on base. And the starting pitching, you just can't have walks. Can't just keep loading the bases over and over. You have a great defense, give them a chance. And that is my final comment. So I hope you guys have a wonderful night. I'll be back for full games once they're back on FanDuel Sports Network. And I hope we lock in this season and get competitive again, because it would suck to just decide to be a middling team. I'd like to see at least one purchase at the deadline. Get a man like Sandy. Try to get back in this division, or at least stay in that playoff spot that you had for so long. So